long has the deep state been there, and who's running it?
Well, I want to answer your question because you had your opening statement, which was how horrible it is that Donald Trump is talking about all of these people.
Sorry, that's what you said. You said,
but you know what's horrible? When people who shouldn't be here end up murdering the children of American citizens.
You know what's horrible? When the president of the United States whips up people to beat the hell out of people.
No.
Say goodbye.
All right, you be the judge. Get it? The judge was on that show. She was a guest. She was visiting their home. It would be like if I treated my young colleagues here on Gen Hexed the same way, which I will. Audio wingman Dion Baia is here, Fox News contributor Katherine Timpf, Fox News headlines 24/7. Carley Shimkus here, and internet radio host and legend Mike Gunzelman. All right, so Kat, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, whatever you think of the judge is very forceful, strongly opinionated. No one deserved to be treated like that. That got really over the top.
It really did, and it's kind of a good representation of what's going on in our country. It's really hard for people from different sides of the aisle to have a civil conversation. I just can't believe what happened because they ended up telling her, get out of here, get out of here. What did they expect Judge Jeanine to say when she came on this show to talk about her book, Liars, Leakers, and Liberals? What did they think she was going to say?
Yeah, the title should have given it away.
She thought Trump was bad? I don't think, don't invite her if you can't be civil.
I did think that Fox personalities appeared on that show are not treated very well.
I think this was the ultimate hit job. I think they knew exactly what they were going to do when they brought her out, but it also goes even a further step. It shows, the tolerant left all of a sudden is not so tolerant anymore.
Well, I think now we've come to a part in our society where we're kind of lost all respect and decorum for just civility between us. We can't have a back and forth because for some reason, I'm always going to be right, you're always going to be wrong, and even if you have an opinion, I'm going to just still think in my head, and my friends are going to think, well, something's wrong with him.
Yeah, and there are so many
Did they apologize afterwards, Carley, or did Whoopi get in contact with her?
That I'm aware of. She did talk about it on her. She did talk about it on her show. She had a very different version of events than what Judge Jeanine is saying. But what happened yesterday? We have all these reality TV shows. I think that was a real representation of real reality TV. And look at what happened earlier this week. There's this actor, Mark Duplass, who posted this nice tweet about Ben Shapiro. He took so much heat for that, he had to apologize. Shania Twain, who's Canadian, she had to apologize for saying that she would vote for President Trump. So even when the other side of the aisle extends themselves, they get shot down. And listen, there are conservatives who hate on Democrats as well. It's not one-sided.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
it's a big problem. It's a little different when you're a guest on someone's show and it gets, I don't know, I think that gets a little. Well, didn't they do this in Bill O'Reilly years ago where they walked off the set?
They all gang up, they attacked them and everything. But it's Whoopi Goldberg. If you want to be relevant, go make another Sister Act movie. You know what I mean?
She's normally not that way.
Wonderful in Sister Act, I must say.
She's great on Star Trek.
I think she's very funny and all this. I love the judge. And it just seemed like it just got wildly out of control.
She wished the judge well today on the show. She said, I hope the book does well. But I mean, lately in society over the past decade.
She said she hoped the book does.
Yeah. She said, I hear it's #1. I hope it does good. But now with society, we've been desensitized to gore, to sex, to violence on TV. Now this is the next step. After 2016.
The judge has been on gore and violence.
No, I'm saying society as well. Like we're desensitized to all this, and now we're just seeing, this civil discourse.
I do want to get on another issue here that's, just as controversial. The NFL putting a kibosh on this policy that requires players to stand during the national anthem. I guess this happened, guys, right after the Miami Dolphins said that they were going to punish players who opted to kneel during this and all, and then it was all.
They were going to do their own kind of.
They're going to do their own thing, but now the kibosh is on.
It's a complete mess. It's a complete disaster. But anybody knew that when the when the NFL put this.
Same thing, basically.
They're both in shambles these days, right? Yeah. But when the NFL put this policy out, you knew from the beginning it was they did this to themselves. It wasn't going to work. So now the individual team will put the punishment down. But they never talked to the Players Association. So now.
But what if the individual team wants to do it? Can they not do it anymore, Carley? Or
can they not punish players?
Yeah.
Well, right now they've put hold on everything. So they're in talks with the NFL Players Association. They're trying to decide what happens next. I think that the NFL realized that they really lost control of this situation this week when Jarrell Casey, he's a Tennessee Titans player, he came out and said he would pay the fine to protest. So I think what they realized is that players are going to protest no matter what, which means that fans were going to be angry as well, and they're back to square one.
People are going to be angry no matter what, because there's two sides. These two sides are not going to change their mind, and the two sides are very, very emotional in their beliefs for
very
what side that they're on.
It goes on the fact that here we are 2 years later, Roger Goodell still does not have control over this issue. It's a self-inflicted.
But it's a metaphor for what we were just talking about in the first thing. We cannot find any common ground.
But it seems like they're kind of late to the game with just reactionary. They're just putting rules in place that aren't really going to be followed. And like Goodell, what he did with the other gentleman in the elevator.
It's just a full circle once again. It's a full circle, absolutely.
It is. I have no idea what you just said.
At least I look good, though.
Sure,
right?
you do.
I look
very handsome young man.
He's not listening to us.
By the way, do any of you live in New Jersey?
Yeah, Hoboken.
Okay, I live in New Jersey as well. They're going to tax water. They're proposing a tax on water. It will be a 10-cent tax. I guess over every 1,000 gallons of water used. And they said this might just remind people, hey, it's a precious resource, but it's also going to raise a lot of money.
You can't tax water. What are they going to do next? They're going to tax air. Every time I take a breath, I'm going to have to pay a little bit to the government. People are going to be suffocating on the streets because they can't afford to pay the government their air tax.
They will tax everything now. I mean, the only reason why marijuana is being legalized, I think, for the most part in all these states is because the governments are realizing they can tax it and they can get a revenue from it. So it's just, they'll tax anything they can, and once you get a tax, you'll never
wasn't it started by environmentalists first? Because we're apparently New Jersey on a per capita basis.
How much water are you going through?
I have no idea.
They're also not calling it. They're not calling it a tax. They're actually calling it a usage fee as well, which was the real kicker here.
Well, that makes it better.
$32 on your overall yearly bill, which isn't a whole lot, but I think it's just the principle.
What's like
you're already paying for
the only free things left are water and air, and now one of them's going to go away.
Yeah, but Jersey we already got the highest property taxes. They want to put they want to charge you now for brown plastic bags and whatnot, and now we're charging us for water.
Well, in the city here, they were trying to do like a 5-cent plastic bag tax.
I'm just surprised.
Which I see because of pollution.
I'm surprised this didn't happen when Governor Shamu was in charge.
Oh, that's true. Wait, you whine a lot. You whine a lot.
I'm a lovable guy.
All right, finally, I know you're all the ABBA fans, but the new Mamma Mia movie is out, and it's not getting the best reviews, but. Any of you ABBA fans, you remember who ABBA was? Or I love their music.
It's not getting the worst reviews either, though. I saw that on Rotten Tomatoes. It got about a 77%.
Oh, really?
And it's supposed to win the box office. It's supposed to make about $40 million.
Well,
I can't imagine taking my spare, precious free time and going to go see a garbage movie like that. I don't.
Someone doesn't. It was Scandinavia took you off, or what happened?
No, I just have never heard an ABBA song that I enjoy. I've never listened to it on
Waterloo. Where are we going?
Sending out SOS. Money. It's a rich man's.
I think the real headline here is that you're an ABBA fan.
Big time.
I would have never expected that.
That song, Dancing Queen, is worse than the Macarena. I hate that.
But see, this is coming down to a personal.
God do you pray to?
This comes down to an emotional argument if you like the band as opposed to the movie. You can see it was a successful revival.
Well, I don't know the movie. I can't count for the movie. But my wife wants to see it.
Are we all going to see this? I'm going to go see it. So let's all go this weekend.
You kids! All right, that'll do it here. I want to thank you all very, very much. Some of them have had no sleep to come on here, and they still do it. We'll have a lot more right after this. Stick around.